Okay, so before we get into this episode, I actually had videos for both Don Black, who I wanted to talk about, and Kaito, both recorded and whatnot. I am probably, I'm probably still gonna upload the Don Black one. We got a little information, but I don't think there's enough where I really have to go back and fix that video. But the Kaito video, we got we got a lot of information in this episode about Kaito. So I'm actually gonna redo that video, re-record that video, because I think this episode kind of helped, in my opinion, kind of make the character a little bit better. There's still a lot we could know. There's a ton that I want to see from this character, but this is what I was expecting from day one of Kaito, and we got it all jam packed into this. Was it episode 20, 21, whatever it is? So I'm okay with that. But to get into this episode, to start out, it is not confirmed at all in this episode, and I don't know if we're gonna get it confirmed next week. Hopefully, there's a throwaway line next week because there was nothing said this week. But Don Dragon, sitting eating lunch or whatever, dinner or whatever, in his house, and he's thinking about his ex roomie, which he left his little village, to go to the city. Obviously, we talk all about that and how they don't like him and whatnot in his little city. But he doesn't know that. But so he's thinking about her, and he says, I wish I could see her. And it appears that his points got used. Now, we don't know because nothing was 100% certain. Nothing was said at all in this episode. So again, I'm praying we get a throwaway line in next week's episode about that. But he goes to the basically everyone but Black in the cafe because obviously they still don't know who Black is. We're still with that plot point. But he goes to the cafe, says to everyone's like, hey, like, I want to impress my girl. I want to be the leader. And so Don Red's like, okay, well, I can't lie, but I like this proposal. I think it's interesting, so I'll let you do it. And he says, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave the DonBrothers. I'm gonna go my separate way. You're not gonna see me. Here's your new leader. And Don Yellow's like, well, why can't we just start when she gets here? And Don Red, which brought up a very good point of, hey, like, synergy and whatnot, like, they're gonna know something's off if suddenly she's here and suddenly he's the leader now. That second. So, you're going to start with him now. And then whenever she gets here, then you'll have better practice of, he's your leader. So I like that. I thought that was really unique. Then we got the intro, and I was praying. I'm like, switch up the intro. Do this whole thing. Make, the main focus of the intro. Make it Don Dragon. And they didn't do that. I'm like, you had a perfect opportunity for this one specific episode. Make it brand new. Do again, focus on Don Dragon is the main focus of the intro. He's up front doing the dance and whatnot. Have Don Red not even in it. Like you can have some of them like where Don Red and Don Dragon are fighting side by side, but take them out of the dance. Take them out of some of the shots here. But I thought it was a perfect opportunity, but they didn't do it. They could for a one-off. I would have been totally okay with that. Just go full on into this. That would have been it would have added an extra layer to that in my opinion. But so, nothing new with the intro. Then we get in the episode. They're training in the rain, which there's throwaway lines in here that there's been so much rain that some houses have come off and slid down the road and whatnot. Almost implying that throughout this episode that the monster of the week was causing this, but then we see shots where it's sunny and dry, and yes, there's some debris and whatnot, but they played it up as like, okay, this is gonna be a rainy episode because we see right after the intro, we see they're training in the rain. They're going up these flights of stairs saying fight, 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 all the way up this really long staircase in a park or wherever it is. And again, I thought the rain was gonna impact this episode. Again, there's throwaway lines about the rain that made it seem like they were going to do that, and they didn't do it, which was very strange. But we get them saying fight as they walk up the stairs, and then we have Don Black, who appears kind of far away, but not too far away from them, and he's looking at this little bench that has like a umbrella thing which you can sit under if there's rain and whatnot, and he's remembering back years ago, whatever it was with Natsumi, and they're joking around and having a good time in his memory. In the memory. And then he sees them training, and Don Pink's like, yeah, come join us. And then Don Blue's like, yeah, no, this is too much for an amateur. And he gets up 5 stairs and is out of breath. I don't know, because again, he joins them after 5 stairs after saying like, oh, I'm not an amateur, I'm a warrior. I don't even know what to say. I thought, especially because they're freaking warriors. Like, I get it if you want to say their human form isn't up to par when they're transformed, yeah. But it was 5 stairs. Like, this guy's on the run for a full... This guy's sprinting around the city, and he can't go 5 stairs, and then he's like, okay, well, hey, there's a cop, I gotta go, we gotta run, and he disappears. And you hear the howl of Wolf in the background. I don't understand it, because he should be in peak, like, physique. Like, he should... I don't know, whatever. We're going to move on from that, because that's basically the only time he comes into the episode besides the ending fight, which is, again, is transformed. But then, again, we get him up the stairs, and, we find out, like, hey... Well, I guess... Because they're talking about Rumi again, who is, again, as I mentioned, is coming. And then we get this whole thing with Kaito as they're kind of talking. It's weird, again, because Kaito was all over this episode, and he's kind of just in the background. And, we see them, they stop a truck somehow, and we find out later how. But they unknowingly stop a truck after Pink and Blue get flown 60 yards. Well, it's like 60 miles away or something. Like they went high into the sky after getting hit by it. The truck was going like 25, and these guys just so they stop a truck, and you kind of see Kaito in the background there, and then they're kind of helping out doing other stuff because they want to get famous, they want to get known, they want to take he calls the Don Dragon calls the group the Dragon Fires, Dragonflies. I think it's Dragonfly Fires. I forgot. I'll put the name. It's such a weird name, but I think it's Dragon Fires, I believe is what it is. So again, he wants people to know, so that they're getting people out of burning buildings. We see Don Blue passes out in the building. And then he peers outside, doesn't know how, but again, we find out later how it happens. And then we get a little mini segment of a, I think is it a kickboxer? Or a box, whatever, some sort of boxer, MMA, whatever style fighter. And the monster of the week, the guy finds a champion, beats him with one punch to the gut, and it says, I need someone stronger. So then he goes to a dojo. And we see Don Red shows up, fights him, for 1 second. Kaito then pops up, helps him fight for a second, and the monster flees, and then we get this little segment, which again was in the trailer, and I said there's not going to be anything, I'm not going to get my hopes up, and this basically the mini fight here, from there on out, he's all over the rest of the episode. But we find out as they're standing there talking to Don Red, or he's standing there talking to Don Red, he says, like, I'm a hero, I was born to be a hero, I'm gonna always be a hero. And then Don Red's like, okay, well, that sounds like a lot of work. He says, what about my companions? And Kaito goes, they learn about life. And we get this whole speech thing. He goes back to them later, a little bit later in the episode, and says, "Hey, like, don't let your egos flare up. Like, this when stuff like that happens, people change and things can happen and whatnot." But of course, they're not listening because they're mesmerized by the fact that they have their own website. They're famous now, and so they go to this ceremony. I guess it's like a introduction ceremony of like who they are. They're gonna kind of reveal their secrets of who the heroes are behind the masks and whatnot. So they're all dressed up and whatnot. And Kaito tells them like, "Hey, Don Red was behind the scenes and saved you all the whole time." He's the one. He transformed it into the mini robot. Goes into the truck, stops the truck, puts the guy's foot on the brake pedal. Truck stops. He saves Don Blue and the worker in the fire, gets him out of there. And again, they only showed like 2 examples right there. So basically, Don Red's been kind of hiding out, also kind of stalking the team, just like Kaito. But Kaito knew it, obviously. And so, the 3 of them realize, like, hey, like, what are we doing? Like, we got to go help him. He's out there fighting a monster all by himself. So they pop up, join the fight. We get this. I enjoyed this mini scene at the end of. It's like a tiger possession. It's a white tiger form, but we see him. It kind of goes blue. Lights flicker on and off, and then everything goes dark, and we get this pull out camera of again Don Dragon, who again is now Don Tiger, I guess, or it's Don Toomey, I think something like that. Anyway, we get this nice pull out of he's screaming in the air like like I'm gonna kill Don Red. He doesn't flat out say that, but that's basically implied. So then he pops up to the fight later on as they're fighting the boxer monster, the MMA monster, whatever. And we see him transform. He pulls down the thing, makes it the spear into an axe. He has the thing, just the gear just pops up in his hand out of nowhere, transforms, and again the suit. I like the suit. There's minimalistic changes, but there's I mean, again, it's all white. Like the upper part is all white all over the shield. The face mask part is all white. There's actually like little, I don't want to call them antlers, but there's like little extra parts, more so than what the gold had. And we see that then, he's like, I'm going to take care of Don Red. Tries to fight him. Don Red's like, hey, like, I got to take care of this guy before we do anything. So he's like, okay, well, I got this. And 2 seconds, he does this white tiger lightning punch or whatever. I got Genki Ranger vibes with the attack. Obviously, and Jungle Fury too. I think Jungle Fury had that with the transformation. I don't know if I can't remember. I haven't seen Genki Ranger in a couple years, but basically that season, I got flashbacks to that with that ultimate attack. Kills the monster. He's about to get up and say something. They're like, hey, like, okay, well now we can fight. Monster grows, and we get 50. Like it's literally like 50 seconds of a Megazord battle. Like legit, it's barely any time at all. They dodge the attacks of the Don Tiger. They grow up, and they get this different finisher where it's both swords don't combine. They turn purple, and they just yeah. And then we end that. We don't get any thing to finish. I mean, there's no real. Again, this is why I'm hoping next week we get more information. Because like we don't see them because it switches back to Kaito, who accepts the award for the other 4 and says, "I'm the commander." And then we get this shot afterwards, which is the ending shot of Don Yellow walks into a store to get some groceries. Plastered all over the front of the store is this magazine with Kaito on the front cover. And and she's freaking out. She's like, what the... She doesn't swear, but she's like, "What the heck?" And that's the end of the shot. We get next week. We get a preview of. We're gonna talk all about this. Like they're going full in on this Kaito, hero thing. And we're just going all in on that. We're gonna get Don Purple did pop up for 2 seconds in this episode. It appears Don Purple can use the Six Ranger gears as well, because we see what is Dino Thunder White, whatever it's called, Terra Ranger or something like that. Whatever the Japanese name is, we see the Dino Thunder White Ranger basically appear and is fighting Don Dragon, who is using the I think it's White Tiger Ranger for Die Ranger. I think it's White Tiger Ranger. I think. So we're going to see that fight, and then again, we're going in on this Kaito thing, and then we have the Monster of the Week as well, and we're getting a plot of Don Blue trying to make ramen with an expert guy, someone he looks up to or something, I don't know. So, a lot of information about Kaito here. There's a lot we can cover. I'll go more in depth, kind of scene by scene of that as I talk. This is what I wanted. I wanted more of this throughout the whole first 20 episodes. So, anyway, for now, like the video, share the video around, don't subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.